While it was first announced to launch with PlayStation 5 as a full-priced game, Destruction All-Stars was recently given a free release for PlayStation Plus members, ensuring that there is a healthy player base to explode to your heart's content. And while it may look like only simple fun at first glance, there's a surprising amount of depth to its hybrid car and on-foot combat. So here are 15 tips and tricks for Destruction All-Stars.
3, 2, 1, we're off!
When playing in Mayhem, there's a floating power-up that gives you double points. Make sure you know where it is in each map, and make it a priority to pick it up whenever you can. It's a good idea to time this pickup with the activation of your special car, so you can rack up the points using your vehicle's special ability. When you use your character's breaker ability, they gain the ability to double jump. Use this to navigate the environment and cross gaps that you normally would not be able to do safely. This is especially helpful for picking up the aforementioned double point buffs. Another way to grab those double point buffs is to launch yourself out of your car, which will give you a ton of height and, if timed right, will easily get you to that point doubler. Take note of what kind of car you're driving and adjust your strategy accordingly. It probably won't do you any good to chase small cars in a large truck. You just won't catch up. On the flip side of that, if you're trailing a large car and a small, speedy one, be patient, get up alongside it, and use your side bump to get an easy hit. Your front ram and side ram are on separate cooldowns, so you can use the first one for positioning and the second one to attack. As we said before, if you're behind a bigger vehicle than your own, the best move may be to use the right stick to speed alongside them, and then bump their back fender with your side ram. Don't forget to take some time to learn what your abilities actually do. You'll get a lot more value out of them if you know when to activate them and what to do once they're activated. Make sure you use the blockers that rise up from the holes in the ground. If you run over them on foot, they will activate and stop any vehicles that cross that area. This can be very useful to throw off pursuers and can even keep vehicles from banking in Carnado. While it may be the best option to get back into the action immediately, you do have some time on your car platforms to perfect your angles. Better to have a plan when jumping back in than not taking stock of your surroundings and getting sideswiped. Don't wait too long though, as you're an easier target for hijackers when you're not moving. If you want to be the first one to a car when the round starts, make sure to do a quick roll right when you hit the ground to get a burst of speed. That will make it easier for you to get to the car before anyone else. In Carnado, don't worry about banking until you've built up at least 15 gears. The time it costs to find another vehicle and start the process over isn't really worth it. Even if you lose your vehicle, losing it with a low amount stored isn't really that big of a hit, so a little patience can really pay off. The exceptions may be if you're really close to the tornado, or on the verge of death, and you'd lose your points anyway. Also in Carnado, you don't have to be in the vehicle when it hits the tornado to bank the points. Try to line up where you want your on-foot character to land, accelerate towards the tornado, and eject. You can let momentum do its work. In Gridfall, spending some time on foot grabbing shards at the beginning of the match may be the best option. Before the floor starts falling out, it's much harder to get KOs and increase your life count. So try to fill out your gauge for your special vehicle whenever you need it. However, you don't want to spend a ton of time on foot in traditional score-based modes, because you won't be able to score that many points without a car. But it's still important to gather shards to reduce the cooldown timer on your special vehicle. You gain way more points in your special vehicle, pedestrians can't try to steal or destroy your car, and you have better options to wreck your opponents. You're gonna get hop-ons, so you may as well limit them. Destruction All-Stars also has a ton of great accessibility and UI options. You can turn off nearly every HUD element if you so choose, and you can also change the colors of those elements to make readability easier. It can be a very busy game visually, with characters and vehicles exploding all around you, so play around with the look of it. It may be of more help than you think. And lastly, but certainly not leastly, for some reason, there's no global option to turn public voice chat off. So as soon as you join a lobby, press the PlayStation button and then square when you're hovering over the chat card. It will usually be the first one, but sometimes you have to scroll a bit. You can also just have an empty party chat going, and that will override the public chat. Unless you want public chat, I guess. You do you, you weirdo. And those are all of our tips and tricks for Destruction All-Stars. Is there one that we missed? Are you enjoying the game? Am I as dumb as I sound? You may find the answer to all of the above in the comments below, and if not, you can tell us with a very friendly reply. In the meantime, if you need guides or help with anything else gaming, you're already in the right place. IGN.